August 23rd, 2023, Las Vegas. It's just another buzzing Friday at Caesars Palace. The neon haze shimmered like always, but inside a tucked-away IT operations room, a chilling alert flashed from the internal system on screen. A ransom mail appeared.
We have full access to your network and customer data. Pay $30 million in Bitcoin within 5 days, or it goes public.
Someone had breached Caesars Entertainment through a third-party tech support vendor, bypassed multi-factor authentication protections with a single convincing phone call.
Yeah, hey, this is Daniel Green from Corporate Operations. I'm stuck out of Okta again. My MFA token's not working, and I've got a director breathing down my neck. Can you just reset it? Let me know what details you will be needing.
All right. I just need to confirm your email and employee ID and password.
Yeah, dgreen@caesars.com, ID 46723, and password is SS_UNC3944. Check the directory, I'm in there. Just need access back to CX loyalty systems, fast.
The hackers scraped employee names from LinkedIn, then matched them with leaked credentials found on dark web forums. Using just internal lingo and confidence, they convinced the agent to reset credentials and bypass multi-factor authentication. With that access, they slipped into back-end systems tied to Caesars' loyalty program, quietly extracted data like social security numbers and driver's licenses stored for high-tier customers. The threat was clear: pay up or the data goes public. By August 23rd, Caesars knew the breach was real. A full-blown crisis meeting followed. Boardrooms turned into war rooms. With panic mounting and reputational disaster looming, Caesars decided to negotiate. A deal was struck: $15 million in Bitcoin, paid discreetly in 2 transactions by September 14th. But who was behind this audacious attack? It wasn't an enemy state or some spy agency. It was something far more unsettling. It was Scattered Spider, also known as UNC3944, Octo Tempest, or Star Fraud. A crew of around 30 teenagers and young adults, some as young as 17, known for pure psychological warfare, executed with ruthless precision. They operated not as a formal hierarchy, but as a decentralized, fluid collective, connecting through encrypted platforms like Discord and Telegram, recruiting new members on the fly, and regrouping for each attack. September 10th, 2023, inside MGM Resorts International. Operations hummed, security teams stood guard, and confidence was absolute. Yet beneath that flawless surface, Scattered Spider was already at work. Using the same tactic they'd perfected at Caesars, they conducted a precise pre-attack research, matched identities with leaked credentials, and dialed into MGM's IT help desk using spoofed internal numbers and AI-generated voices that sounded very familiar.
Hey there, this is Mark Daniels from MGM Global Ops. Sorry for the rush, but I'm locked out of Okta again. My MFA token's glitching, and I've got a board presentation in 15. Any chance you can push a manual override?
All right, sir. I'll need to verify your credentials. Can you confirm your employee ID and email?
Of course. ID 98124. Emails mark.daniels@mgmresorts.com. You'll find me in the directory under Corporate Strategy. Happy to verify anything else if needed.
All right, you're in the system. Do you want me to bypass MFA temporarily?
Yes, please. My phone's completely dead. Just need to get through this meeting. I'll raise a proper ticket with IT right after. Really appreciate the help.
After slipping in via the perfected phishing formula, they spent precious hours mapping the network from the inside, observing user hierarchies, admin roles, and backup routines before deploying the ransomware. Then, their operative dispatched a ransom demand of $30 million in cryptocurrency, making clear that every guest login, room key system, and payment gateway was compromised unless paid. MGM stood firm and refused to negotiate or pay, triggering a shutdown of internal systems, reservation platforms, loyalty apps, customer service portals, even hotel websites lit up with error screens or simply disappeared. Behind the scenes, staff scrambled. Guests waiting for check-in had to queue for manual key issuance. Casino winners received handwritten receipts, and credit card numbers were scribbled onto paper slips. Kitchens stopped billing electronically, restaurant payments went old school, and TV services and phone lines darkened in guest rooms. MGM lost $8 to $10 million per day, with total disruptions pushing into the $100 million range. Key systems remained offline at over 30 properties, as recovery teams worked day and night to rebuild virtualized environments and re-imaged ESXi hosts from clean backups. By September 20th, most systems were restored, and business drifted back to normal, with only minor glitches still present. But this attack was wildly nasty, crippling the daily activities of a multi-billion-dollar company. Security agencies sprang into action. The FBI officially opened an investigation within 48 hours, citing the involvement of Scattered Spider and initiating early coordination with local law enforcement to preserve evidence and monitor the criminal networks behind the breach. While Scattered Spider used crypto for ransom payments, they underestimated blockchain transparency. Every Bitcoin transaction is recorded on a public ledger. FBI cybercrime teams worked with Chainalysis, a blockchain analytics firm, to trace the exact wallets used in the Caesars $15 million ransom. The funds were tracked as they moved through mixers and bridges, notably the Avalanche bridge, used to convert Bitcoin across chains. Chainalysis flagged suspicious movement of 277.56 Bitcoin, approximately $11.8 million, which Ava Labs froze in January 2024 at the FBI's request. Hackers had already moved $5 million before the freeze, but the FBI intervention disrupted their cash-out plan. But how this rich and young hacker group was able to siphon millions of dollars, inflict losses in the billions to these highly secure, multinational companies. Scattered Spider first rose to infamy in 2022 by targeting major telecom and insurance firms like Twilio, Transamerica, Synchrony Financial, New York Life, and Snowflake with sophisticated SIM swap scams, intercepting one-time multi-factor authentication codes by tricking carriers into reassigning victims' phone numbers. This human-driven breach method, paired with polished phishing, spoofed caller IDs, and leaked credentials, allowed them to bypass authentication quietly. By 2023, they had formed a lethal partnership with BlackCat, a modern ransomware-as-a-service group who scrambled files and systems so they become unusable without a decryption key, which only they had. Within months of shaking the foundations of Fortune 500 giants, Scattered Spider's digital reign of terror finally triggered a global manhunt. The trail began to unravel in January 2024 when the FBI arrested Noah Michael Urban, known in the hacking world as Sosa, charging him with orchestrating an $800,000 cryptocurrency theft through SIM swapping and identity impersonation. But the real breakthrough came with Tyler Buchanan, alias Tyler B., the group's suspected mastermind. Investigators had been following the faintest trails: spoofed domains registered under burner emails, Telegram handles tied to compromised infrastructure, and even the reuse of IPs linked to phishing kits deployed in the MGM and Caesars attacks. Buchanan had grown bold, leasing cloud servers used in ransomware delivery under fake IDs, but domain registration logs and crypto wallet flows exposed him. FBI cyber units partnered with Chainalysis, tracing stolen funds as they were laundered through cross-chain bridges and privacy coins, eventually linking them to Buchanan's aliases. When Spanish authorities detained him in June 2024, he was boarding a private jet, carrying access to over $27 million in Bitcoin. Then, in November 2024, the U.S. Department of Justice unsealed indictments against 5 key players: Urban, Buchanan, Ahmed El-Badawi, Evans Osibo, and Joel Evans, charging them with wire fraud, identity theft, and cyber extortion on a global scale. These weren't backroom hackers anymore. They were fugitives. Though these arrests disrupted operations temporarily, Scattered Spider's decentralized, alias-driven network allowed it to quickly reassemble. Despite these arrests, Scattered Spider remains operational and adaptable. In early 2025, they resumed attacks across sectors including UK retail, insurance, and US airlines, demonstrating tactics consistent with their previous modus operandi: advanced phishing, SIM swapping, and help desk manipulation. The UK's National Crime Agency arrested 4 more individuals aged 17 to 20, suspected of orchestrating this devastating cyber attacks on Marks & Spencer, Co-op, and Harrods, which costed hundreds of millions in damages. At least 9 individuals suspected of being affiliated with Scattered Spider are currently under legal scrutiny across 2 jurisdictions, with charges stemming from financial fraud, extortion, and high-profile ransomware campaigns. In the end, Scattered Spider isn't just a group of hackers. They are a mirror, reflecting just how fragile our digital empires truly are. With nothing but confidence, keyboards, and cloned voices, a handful of teenagers dismantled billion-dollar giants, humiliated cybersecurity teams, and forced the FBI, DOJ, and global intelligence agencies into a frantic game of catch-up. Their arrests may have slowed the bleeding, but the wound is still fresh, because somewhere out there, in private Telegram groups and darknet forums, new spiders are weaving webs of chaos, smarter, quieter, and hungrier than ever. The question isn't if they'll strike again, it's when.